I'm Ros Ebbett and I'm the costume designer on Victoria. This dress I have here is a state dress which is for Victoria, which we use for the christening of the eldest child, Princess Victoria, and also then we can use again for special state occasions. This dress is made so that it can accommodate the garter ribbon, the garter star and the actual garter. When the Order of the Garter was instituted, it was round a leg, but then when Victoria came to the throne, obviously women's legs weren't shown, and so she evolved a technique of putting the garter round the sleeve of her dress. Then the garter sash goes round always on the left shoulder to the right hip. It's the only ribbon that does that, and from it would hang what's known as the George, little image of St. George slaying the dragon. And then the garter star pins on her dress here. That is the sort of very formal royal part of their clothing. This is our Buckingham Palace livery that all the Buckingham Palace footmen wear, and in fact today the liveries in Buckingham Palace are not dissimilar to this. We had a whole lot new ones made this year so that everything looks really perfect for the long scenes in the corridors of Buckingham Palace and for big reception scenes. We also have here Buckingham Palace valets, the chefs, the kitchen porters, and then here on the stand we have an example of a hussar costume from the 11th Hussars, very similar to the one that Prince Albert wore when he was commander of the 11th Hussars. And I also had a whole set made of the troopers that they could wear on horseback for a parade scene. So we've established a whole new regiment of soldiers. And here we have a dress that was made new for this series for Jenna Coleman, Victoria, and this was for a special fancy dress ball with a Plantagenet theme, and also the idea was that everything was supposed to be made of Spitalfield silks. My dressmaker who made this, we used double layers of sort of see-through embroidered fabric and some other embroidered fabric and then pretend ermine here. This beading here was actually a bracelet which we sort of deconstructed and spread out to look like real jewels on a stomacher. And all the designs of the ball, Victoria was helped by a man called J.R. Planchet, who was actually one of the very first historians of costume, and he wrote one of the very first books about it, and it's still in print. And there's a famous painting of her and Prince Albert in their costumes. So here we have some royal coachmen, we have the clerks of the House of Commons, we have the Speaker's gown. It's been very interesting in this series that we've had a multitude of different places, different stories, different facets of society. It makes a really fabulous show to be working on.